Very good morning, students. Again, this is Sachin sir. I am here again with a new topic. Friends, or as dear students, in the last video or in the last class, we have discussed regarding the types of financial statement. So, what were the financial statement? The statements that record the business financial information. Okay, and where do you prepare those financial statements? Under the book Final Account, in the process of interpretation. So, we have discussed in detail the functions of accounting, where under interpretation, the book called Final Account is prepared, and under the Final Account, three financial statements are prepared. What are those three financial statements? Trading account, then profit and loss account, and balance sheet. And I have also told you the peculiarity about the trading and profit and loss account is that if you want or if you are acquainted with preparation of those two accounts, then you can merge those two ledger accounts. Okay, you can merge those two ledger accounts. What are those two ledger accounts that you can merge if you want or you are acquainted? That is trading and profit and loss account. Third financial statement was balance sheet. So out of these three financial statements, trading account and profit and loss account are the ledger accounts. And I told you trading account can be denoted as a real account and nominal account too. Then profit and loss account is a nominal account only. But balance sheet, since it is not a ledger account, it is just a statement. And to mind it, I have also told you that what does the mean term statement and account. That means all accounts can be called as statements, but all statements are not accounts. I have proved it, okay, because anything which is in written form can be called as a statement, but anything which is in written form cannot be called as an account, because account is a specified format. Account has a specific two sides. Left side is the debit side, right hand side is the credit side. Okay, so today we shall discuss the format of preparation of trading account, the format of preparation of profit and loss account, and balance sheet as well. Okay, so let's start the video. Before talking about or discussing about the format of trading account, I shall tell you that since accounting period concept has furnished us the reason that we should prepare our financial statement at the end of an accounting year. Okay, because the larger time interval or the indefinite period of business is divided into smaller time gaps or smaller time intervals. Those smaller time intervals are called as the accounting year or financial year or assessment year, whatever name you can give according to the name of taxation or as a business enterprise. That is, does not matter. All things are same on whole. Okay. So the thing is, we prepare trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet at the end of an accounting year. As you know, the interpretation comes in the last function. Okay. So trading account and profit and loss account since prepared at the end of an accounting year. Okay, listen carefully. Since trading account and profit and loss account are prepared at the end of an accounting year, means on the same date. That is, what is the end of an accounting year? 31st March of a particular date. That means if you take the current year as the accounting year, your ending or the end of the accounting year will be 31st March 2021. Or if you take as the previous assessment year, the end of the accounting year is 31st March 2020. So on the same date, you have to prepare the three financial statements. So as you know, ledger accounts are prepared with a specific format. What? It is prepared in a T shape. You know, it is prepared in a T shape, as you know earlier. T shape format. And again, this T shape format is given certain columns: date column, particular column, folio column. Again, this right hand side is the same: date column, and then again particular column, folio column, amount column. Okay, so this is what the ledger account is all about. Two sides are there: debit side, credit side. This is your date column. Now the thing is, since trading account and profit and loss account is also a ledger account, you will preparing it in the same format. But the difference is, since trading account and profit and loss account is prepared at the end of an accounting year or at the same date, that is 31st March 2020 or 21, depending on your accounting year. Okay. So on the same day, since it is prepared, the date column will not exist in your trading account and profit and loss account. Clear? Trading and account and profit and loss account are prepared with the same ledger format. But the thing is, it will not have any date columns on it. Okay. So now we should discuss the format of trading account. In trading account, we have discussed that left hand side is the expense side, right hand side is the income side. So what kind of expense and incomes are recorded in trading account? I have discussed already in my last video regarding the types of revenue expenditure. If you have any doubt, you can go to that recent video. Okay. So left hand side, the expenses which are recorded in trading account is direct expenses, and the right hand side, the incomes which are recorded in the trading account is direct income. So incomes and expenses of direct nature are recorded in trading account. So let us discuss in detail. This is your trading account format that you prepare at the end of an accounting year. That and can be, let us say 31st March 2021 for the next year. Okay, so this is your format of trading account. Please look it carefully. Again, we will discuss the last ledger account. So this is your trading account format. There will not be any date column, as I have said now. There will be no folio column either, because you are not going to write the page numbers of the ledger or even journal or even trial balance, because you prepare it after trial balance. Trial balance, now folio columns are not written here. Okay, so there will not be any existence of date column, and also there will not be any existence of folio column. It will be having only particulars and amount column. Okay, so this is what particulars and amount column. Again here, particulars, amount column. But as you write on the top, this is debit side and this is credit side. So how do you write it? Particulars, then amount, in bracket rupees, again particulars, in bracket amount rupees. Okay, so this is the debit side, this is the credit side. Since it is also called as a real account and nominal account both, as I have discussed in our classes, it is called as real account and nominal account both. Okay, so why real account it is called? This I discussed now. The first transaction or the first item that exists in trading account in the debit side is the opening stock. That is opening stock. Okay, what is opening stock, and is it really exist in every problem or every business? No. What opening stock is, if you have any stock unsold during this year that is not sold to the customer, unsold means that only. Okay, so unsold stock during this accounting year becomes the opening stock of the next accounting year. So that is what I have written here. If there is no unsold stock in your previous years, there will not be any opening stock, because you don't throw the unsold stock. You, however, take it to the succeeding year. That stock or unsold stock in the succeeding year is named as opening stock. Clear? Second is, you have definitely purchased either you are if you are preparing as for a production unit or factory, you will purchase raw material, or otherwise you will purchase goods. So it is to purchase account. And if you take purchase account as real account, then you purchase the goods, debit what comes in on the debit side. Or if you take purchase the expenses, then debit or expense and losses. There is no mistake. You can consider as both real and nominal. And stock, as you know, stock means property. So properties are on the always debit side, because debit what comes in. Stock is an asset, and asset always shows debit balance. Okay. Then here you can write another expenses that are to wages. Because it is a direct expense, I have told you, because wages are paid to the workers. Workers work in the factory, and factory or production unit is preparing trading account, or trading account is prepared for the production unit. So production unit expenses and incomes come under trading account. Okay. So what can be the other production expenses? Wages, then factory rent or factory insurance also. So factory rent and insurance I have written it at the once. So avoid this. So factory rent and insurance also happens to be the direct expense. If it is given in the business enterprise, then it will have to be written in the debit side of trading account. Then carriages. Okay. So what kind of carriages? Because carriages are of two types. It is carriage inward and outward. I have also told what is carriage inward and carriage outward. Carriage inward is the expenses on purchases. Expense on purchases. But carriage outward is the expense on sales. That means sales is the after production. After production means it is coming the part of the administrative unit. So carriage inward is a direct expense. Carriage outward is a indirect expense. So carriage inward will be written on the debit side of trading account. Okay. If it is not mentioned also, never confuse if carriages are put on the trading account, definitely these expenses related to the purchases. Okay. So this is carriage inward. Then you can write here lighting, heating, etc. Then 2, coal, fuel. As you know, these things are used in the factory only. Then electricity. Now the question comes, is electricity used in production only, not in the office? The answer is yes, it is used in both the units. But if it is not mentioned where does the electricity charges belong to, then you have to see that electricity is primary part for which unit. Okay, getting what I am telling you? That means if electricity charges are given in the question and it is not mentioned that either it is made for a factory or it is given for office unit. So in that case, you have to consider the primary case. You have to consider the primary point. That means if electricity charges is not available for the office, manageable. But if electricity is not available for the production unit, then how you will run your machineries? It is not possible now. So that means if it is not mentioned, you can directly write the electricity charges as the direct expenses under the debit side of trading account. But if it is mentioned, then factory electricity or office electricity, you can easily distinguish and segregate the expenses into debit side of trading account and debit side of profit and loss account. So that is very easy. If it is not mentioned, then electricity charges are directly taken to the debit side of trading account. There are also a lot of expenses which I could not write them into this space. Okay, but you can know stock and purchase happens to be the most important item of trading account, for which it is considered as a real account. As you can see, these two items make the account as a real account. Also, there are other 2-3 items which we will write on the credit side. Okay, after excluding these two items, other expenses, as you can see, these are the nominal account balances, or you can say these are the direct expenses. Why? These expenses are made to bring the goods into sellable condition, or the expenses that are made in the line of production, whatever you can say. So there are a lot of expenses. If you have any doubt or if you get any other expenses that can be called as a direct expense, then you can, without the hesitation, you can ask me in the comment section. I will love to reply or respond to your any type of queries and doubts. Okay, so let's move to the credit side of trading account. In the credit side of trading account, as we have discussed, if direct expenses are written here, direct incomes would be written here. Okay, so opposite of purchase is sales, so obviously it is a direct income. I have also told you that if you categorize the incomes as direct and indirect, then there is only single direct income. Okay, like the expenses are of two types, direct expense and indirect expenses, and you have a lot of examples regarding it. But when you classify or categorize the incomes in two types, that is direct income and indirect income, so direct income has just one item or just one example in itself, that is sales. So sales is the only direct income that exists in the business organization, and since sales is related after production or produced units, so sales is a revenue directly related to business. It is written in the credit side of trading account. Okay, clear? So sales is the only direct income that exists in the business organization. Then see, since it is the only direct income we have mentioned here, but again a query comes regarding the returns. Returns means either purchase return or sales return. Okay, since there is no space, I can tell you how to write it in other alternative form. If there is purchase return, okay, if there is purchase return, so as you know, purchase return is also called as return outward. So never confuse in these two things. Okay, purchase return is also called as return outward. That means if you have purchased goods, you bring it into your business organization, and when you return it, you take it out of your business organization. That means the credit what goes out. So purchase return or return outward is a same, and it is a real account because credit what goes out. So outward is a term refers that the goods are now no more existing in your business organization. It is returned to the concerned supplier due to being defective in quality or not as per the specification of the order. Okay, so purchase return and return outward is same. So if there is any returns, you can subtract it over here and can write the net amount here. Okay, you can subtract it here, returns and you can write the net amount here. But if we have omitted to post the returns of the purchases and you have made all the items posted, see, this is the thing, or this is the reason why I have written all other items or expenses without indicating about the returns. Okay, listen carefully. If there is returns and you have left space over here, then you can deduct it from the purchases and can write the net amount on the outer column of trading account debit side. But if you have not left space, or if you have omitted to post the returns of the purchases, then you can do what? You can write it on the opposite side. Why? See, since it is deducted, minus means subtraction, or subtraction or minus in the ledger can be considered as a opposite side. In accounting, it is done. Okay, so see, returns are deducted from purchases, so obviously you can write on the credit side. Okay, if you have not deducted here, or you have omitted to deduct, or you have not deducted because of the problems you have not seen properly, so you can write the purchase return on the opposite side. What can you write here? By return outward. What you can write? By return outward. Whatever the amount is. Same happens with the sales also. There may be also sales return. So as you know, sales return also has a name that is called as return inward. What is this? Return inward. So inward means that comes. Outward means that goes. So sales return means what? You have sold the goods to your customers and because of some problems or defectiveness, they are returning the goods to you. So if you consider yourself as a business organization, that means I am the business organization if I consider myself as a business. So my customers or my debtors have returned the goods to me. That means goods came to me. So return inward and sales are also, it happens to be the real account. That means debit what comes in. So sales return or return inward are the same. Inward means comes in, outward means goes out. And the very simple funda, if I tell you, purchase is a debit balance, purchase return is a credit balance. Okay, sales is a credit balance, sales return is a debit balance. Exact opposite. If you forget the logic also, you can remember this method. Opposite method. So return inward is also real account because it goods comes in, and return outward is also real account because goods goes out. So return inward can be deducted from sales. Likewise we did for purchases. Okay. So if you have space and if you do not forget to post return sales return or return inward, then you can deduct it over here. That is return inward. You could write the amount here and you can deduct here. Then you can post the net amount. But if same problem happens with the sales also, then if you have not left any space or you forgot to post regarding the return inward, then you can do the posting on the opposite side. That is, as I told, since it is deducted, that means according to the logic of ledger accounts, it can be taken to the opposite side since it is deducted. Okay, so I can write on the debit side of trading account. That is return inward. Okay. So this is the entire item that is existing in trading account, and as I told, opening stock is the unsold stock of the previous year, okay, or last year. So same thing happens with the current year also. There will be some unsold stock. That unsold stock are called as closing stock. And since opening stock is the opening balance that is put on the debit side of trading account, definitely the closing stock or the closing balance will be put on the opposite side of trading account, that is where opening stock exists. Okay, so closing stock is the opposite to opening stock. It will be posted to the credit side of trading account. But it will be written as a proper gap between the items by closing stock. I will tell you why the gap is given. See, if there is any unsold stock during the accounting year, you have to definitely post it as a naming it closing stock. That becomes the opening stock of the succeeding year or succeeding accounting year. But if there is no closing stock, you won't post it anything here. But if there is, you have to post opposite side of opening stock or opposite side of debit side. Okay. The thing is, why it is written as a gap? Why I have written giving it as a gap? See, when you close your ledger accounts, you could write their balance carried down, balance brought down. You are writing on the ledger accounts. So how do you write those balances? By giving a certain gap to prove that it indicates it is the closing balance, and the next you take it as a opening balance. So that is the reason, just to focus and make it as a separate item, I have written on by giving a separate gap, that this is the opening stock and purchases, and after sales this is the closing stock. There is no concept where writing in the giving it a separate space. You can write over here also. Now we start and the trading account. So as you know how the ledger accounts are closed, you might be knowing how ledger accounts are closed. You have to see the highest total, and the highest total is put on the both the sides. Why? Because of matching concept. So you have to total both the sides and you have to put the highest total on both the sides. Consider the credit side is the highest. Okay, I shall take an amount that will be better for you. So consider credit side total is 50,000, debit side total is 40,000. So I shall put, according to matching concept, 50,000 on both the sides. Okay, so 50,000 is the total of the credit side and 40,000 is the total of the debit side. So where is deficit? On the debit side. How much? 10,000. Okay. Look carefully as I have explained in the concept. You can watch that video regarding the matching concept also. The highest total is 50,000. So I put it on the both the sides. How much is the total of the debit side? 40,000. And what is the deficit then? 50 minus 40 is 10,000. This is 50,000 total, and this total is 40,000 as I have taken as an example. So the deficit is 10,000. Now recall, credit side is more than debit side. That means incomes or revenues are somehow more than the expenses. So the result or the consequence is profit. Okay, so what it is? Profit. And this profit is given a name. Okay, this profit is given a name, that is gross profit. What the name is given? Gross profit, and actually written here carried out. Why? This carried out amount is again taken to the brought down to the next financial statement, that is profit and loss account. Okay, let us take the opposite sense of the trading account. Consider if there is debit side total is more than the credit side total. Okay, if debit side total is more than the credit side total. Let us take an example that debit side total is 60,000 and credit side total is 40,000. So which is the highest total? 60,000. So I shall put 60,000 on both the sides of trading account. Okay. So as we discussed, now the debit side total is how much? 60,000. And the credit side total is how much? 40,000. So where is the deficit lies? Deficit lies on the debit side. What is the deficit? 60 minus 40 is 20,000. Okay. 60 minus 40 is 20,000. So what it will be written on the credit side? Opposite of gross profit. What it will be written as? By gross loss. By gross loss carried down. Okay. So gross loss carried down means again it will be taken as brought down to the next account, that is next financial statement. So this is what the format of trading account. Debit side is written purchase and opening stock, and credit side the revenues like sales and closing stock, and the direct expenses are written on the debit side. Direct income, that is only one, sales written on the credit side. If the credit side is more than the debit side, it is gross profit. If the debit side is more than the credit side, then it is gross loss. Okay, if you have any doubt regarding this, the preparation of trading account or the posting of the items related to direct expense or indirect expense in the trading account, without hesitation you can easily ask me. Okay, and it will be very pleasure for me to help you or guide you and answer your queries. Okay. Next we shall discuss about the preparation or the format of profit and loss account. Okay, so are you clear with this, the preparation of trading account? Again, if you have any problem you can ask me. So let us now see the format of preparation of profit and loss account. And as the ledger account says, profit and loss account is also a ledger account, and it is called a nominal account. So being a nominal account, profit and loss account has two sides also. debit side is the credit side, and it is a ledger account. Okay, so debit side is the expense side, credit side is the income side. That means in profit and loss account, the debit side is written the expenses, and credit side the incomes are posted. Now, if the direct expenses and direct incomes are posted all there in the trading account, okay, in debit side and credit side respectively. So, what kind of expense and income that are to be posted in the debit and credit side of profit and loss account? As you know, trading account is prepared for the factory or production unit. Profit and loss account is prepared for the office or administrative unit. And in the office or the administrative unit, the expenses or income that are taken place or are existing in the business organization are of indirect nature. That means that are not related to production, not related to goods. It is just made for maintaining the office unit. So, profit and loss account is a nominal account. Debit side is the expense side where you will be writing the indirect expenses, and credit side is the income side where you will be writing the all sort of indirect incomes. So let us discuss the format of profit and loss account. So here goes format of profit and loss account. Okay, yeah, you can put the date 31st March 2020 at the end. So same goes like trading account only. It is prepared in T shape. Okay, debit side is having the particulars and amount column only. Same goes with the credit side also. That is having particulars and amount column only. This is the credit side. Okay, this is particulars on the debit side of profit and loss account. Okay, and this is the amount column in the debit side of profit and loss account, and this is the particulars column in the credit side of profit and loss account, and same like amount of credit side of profit and loss account. As you know, profit and loss account is the real account, debit side is the expense side, indirect expenses are written here, credit side is the income side, indirect incomes are written over here. Okay, but before posting the expenses and incomes on the profit and loss account, you should remember that I told you when you close trading account, you get some answer. What if the credit side of trading account is more than the debit side? You get gross profit. And if the debit side of trading account is more than the credit side, you get gross loss. Simple. If income is more than expenses, it is profit. If expenses are more than income, it is loss. So, if you are having gross profit in the trading account, so where gross profit was written? On the debit side of trading account at the end, you have written 2 gross profit carried out, which I have discussed just now. Okay, you can rewind and see. So, if it is taken as a brought down in the next financial statement, it will be written in the credit side of profit and loss account. Okay, you have write here by gross profit brought down. Okay. Because gross profit was written as a carry down in the debit side of trading account, and if you take as a brought forward or brought down, you have to post it on the opposite side. As you know the meaning of ledger account, and you know how it is prepared or posted, the carry down balances are taken to the opposite side in the as a brought down balance. So same goes with the gross profit of trading account and also gross loss of the trading account. If gross profit is existing in the business organization in trading account, it is taken as gross profit brought down in the opposite side, that is in the credit side of profit and loss account. If there is gross loss that is existing as a gross loss carried down in the credit side of trading account, then subsequently or respectively it is taken to the opposite side or the debit side of profit and loss account as to gross loss, that is brought down. Clear? And as you know, out of these two, any of one can exist, but I have written here as a specification or format to make you clear. If there is gross loss, it comes on the debit side as brought down. If there is gross profit, it comes on the credit side as brought down. Now we shall discuss the other indirect expenses or indirect incomes. See, the expenses which are not made for production or made for maintaining the office are called as indirect expenses. Okay, so let us see what are those indirect expenses. Here you can write advertisement. Advertisement is not related directly to the goods, so it is the indirect expenses. Losses like bad debt are coming here in profit and loss account. Okay, bad debt is a loss, but it is not a direct loss. It is considered as an indirect loss, so it comes under debit side of profit and loss account. Then insurance and rent, and again insurance and rent are related to office, not factory. So office rent and insurance comes under debit side of profit and loss account. Then depreciation, these all are indirect expenses. Depreciation, as you know, it is the reduction value of a fixed asset during a accounting year. So it is an indirect expenses totally. Then to interest on loan, to bank charges. Okay, the two most other indirect expenses that we have written in the trading account, and we'll write the subsequent opposite to it. We have written wages. Wages is paid to workers, and who is existing or working in the office? They are the employees. So employees are given salaries. Okay, so employees are given salaries. So salary is a indirect expenses. Then we have written there carriages. Carriages inward supposed to be the direct expenses of trading account, and also now carriage outward will be the indirect expenses that is supposed to be written on the debit side of profit and loss account. So carriage outward is the expenses that is made on sales. So carriage outward is written on the debit side of profit and loss account. Clear? So there are also other indirect expenses. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comments, or you can clear your queries. But this is what the exact indirect expenses are all about, or the expenses that are not related to production or made for maintaining the office unit or administrative purposes. Those expenses are supposed to be taken as the indirect expenses. So now consecutively we will go for the indirect incomes over here. The indirect incomes are, okay, the thing is, when we categorize the incomes into two parts, as I have told in the earlier, direct income and indirect income, and direct income is only one, that is sales. So other than sales, all the incomes are called as indirect income. So there is no need of thinking much, that is which kind of income or what type of example of income can be indirect income. Very simple. Any sort of income that is not sales is called as indirect income. You can take it any example. Okay, like by commission received. Commission received, it is a indirect income. Then by bank interest, again it is indirect income. By dividends received, it is indirect income. Then if you have given any premises on rent, then rent received also an indirect income. So all incomes other than these sales are supposed to be the direct indirect incomes. Now we shall close the profit and loss account because we have discussed the incomes and expenses of indirect nature. Okay, as you know, the way or the procedure of closing a ledger account, we have to put the highest total in both the sides. Okay, so same we will discuss like trading account here. Okay, let us say the debit side and credit side are having totals different. Okay, if it is same, you cannot reach into a conclusion whether it is a profit or a loss. Okay, so consider the credit side total including gross profit is 1 lakh. How much it is? 1 lakh. And the debit side total is, you have to ignore gross loss if there is profit. Okay, because I have told you out of these two any one can occur, and I have written here only because of the format. So please don't confuse. So including gross profit, the total credit side or the total indirect income comes to 1 lakh, and the total indirect expenses comes as 85,000. So tell me, which is the highest total? 1 lakh, definitely. So as matching concept says, the highest total will put on both the sides. Likewise we did in the trading account. So 1 lakh is the highest total that I put on the total column on both the sides of profit and loss account. Now tell me where the deficit amount lies in the profit and loss account, either in the credit side or the debit side. That is in the debit side, because the highest total of credit side is 1 lakh and the highest total of the debit side is 85,000. So the deficit is in the debit side. So what is the deficit amount? 1 lakh minus 85,000 is 15,000. How much it is? 15,000. And as you know, the incomes if are more than the expenses, or the indirect incomes are more than the indirect expenses under profit and loss account, then we know it is a profit. Okay, so it is 15,000 is the nothing but profit. So again students, this profit is named. Okay, likewise you have named the profit under trading account or the loss under trading account as gross profit or gross loss. Similarly, here also the profit or loss is have a separate name. Here the profit is named as net profit. That is taken to balance sheet. Okay, I have written here carry down. You can also write carry forward. Because it is carried forward to balance sheet. That is the last or the final financial statement that is prepared under the final account. So if the indirect income, including gross profit is more than the indirect expenses, the result is net profit, as I have given you the example having a total. Okay, I think there should not be any doubt or confusion regarding this because the incomes are more and the expenses are less. And since according to matching concept we have discussed the format where the deficit amount is put on the deficit side. So the deficit amount is 15,000 and the deficit side is the debit side. Okay, now let us take the reverse of this one. It would be better if I don't erase because it is a format. So let it be here. I am taking you just the example. Consider the total of the debit side of profit and loss account is more than the credit side of profit and loss account. So the debit side total of the profit and loss account is considered 1,50,000 and the credit side total of the profit and loss account is 1,25,000. So tell me students, which is the highest total? Highest total is 1,25,000 or 1,50,000? Simple. 1,50,000 supposed to be the highest amount. Definitely. Okay. So 1,50,000 is the highest total, and according to matching concept and as the rule or procedure of preparation of ledger account, we'll put this total on both the sides of profit and loss account. Okay. So how much we'll put here? 1,50,000. So what is the total of the credit side? 1,25,000. So tell me, where is the deficit side? Which is the deficit side? Deficit side is the credit side. And what is the deficit amount? 1,50,000 minus 1,25,000. So the amount comes here as 25,000. Okay. See, the debit side total is 1,50,000. Credit side total is 1,25,000. So which is the deficit side? Credit side. And according to matching concept, the deficit amount is put on the deficit side. Okay. So the deficit amount is 25,000. So it will be written as the opposite of net profit, that is by net loss. What it will be written as? By net loss. Carry forward to balance sheet. Okay, likewise you can write here also carry forward to balance sheet. If you have more expenses including gross loss than the indirect incomes, then the result comes as net loss. And likewise we have treated the gross loss or gross profit by way of trading account to profit and loss account. Same goes with the net profit and net loss also. Okay, the third financial statement is balance sheet, where the net profit or net loss are transferred to capital account. If there is net profit, it is taken to balance sheet under the liability side by way of addition to capital account. And if there is net loss, likewise it is taken to the liability side of balance sheet, but by way of deduction from capital account. So how that is treated, we will discuss in our next class of the next video. Okay, till then, keep watching, stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and please keep us encouraging. If there is any problem, without hesitation, ask your queries. I will definitely love, or it will be a great pleasure for me to clear your doubts and queries. Thank you.